So we are here in sunny California at Future Travel Experience, and I'm joined here by Aura Moore, who is Chief Information Officer of Los Angeles World Airport. So Aura, thank you so much for joining me today.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
So firstly, could you just tell me a bit about yourself and your role at LAWA?
Sure. Well, I've had a civil service career for over 25 years. I worked in various city departments, but I've spent most of my career in the airport sector. It's been quite exciting. My role at LAWA, I'm responsible for overseeing day-to-day IT operations, and then also I oversee the IT capital program delivery, as well as all of our innovation technology deployments.
Thank you. Now, you are responsible for the IT environment, and cybersecurity is a major threat to airports being critical national infrastructure. What trends have you seen in cybersecurity, and how has it evolved over the past few years? Seeing as the way that we have worked has changed.
Sure, good question. So, now that we have a hybrid work environment and we're doing a lot of telecommuting, I would say that many of these cyber attacks that you see indicates that attackers are targeting remote access technology as well as stealing credentials. That seems to be the big target. However, we've always had the threat of distribution of ransomware that is still alive and well. It appears as though that still remains a major goal of attackers as a way to make money. One thing that we have also seen is a rise in DDoS attacks, which typically is not necessarily from nation-state type of attackers, but certainly those that are trying to see, what servers can be brought down, and et cetera. In addition to that, there's many AI tools that are used on both sides, unfortunately, from the smart attackers as well as, what we use on our side to protect our environments. I would also say that, IoT is definitely going to evolve into the future, and the use of mobile phones. So all of that is good, but it also increases our cyber risk as those devices are, being integrated into our environments and networks. And then as we modernize our IT infrastructure, everybody's looking to leverage cloud services and cloud storage. So that is adding a level of cloud security that we haven't had before. So making sure that we are designing for zero trust architectures, making sure that we have cloud access security brokers in place, and the tools to make sure that we understand what our cloud security posture is.
Thank you so much. So what are you working on at the moment in terms of streamlining business processes with technology?
Well, we do have a program for business process optimization across LAWA, but I would say that the first phase is focused on HR, automating and streamlining those processes, and in particular, the workflows for hiring. We need to hire many more people. We have lots of vacancies, so we need to make the process much more efficient, make it faster, and we see automation as a way to do that.
And how are you leveraging self-service and automation technologies to enhance the passenger experience? I know that's a big area.
Well, that's the fun part about the job, actually. We are always looking at ways to leverage biometrics and automation at the various touch points in the passenger journey. So we have a self-service biometric trial, self-bag-drop trial in our Tom Bradley International Terminal. We also have a large deployment of biometric gates for international travel. We've collaborated with CBP for having biometric capability for international passengers who are coming back into the country, either through global entry or just going through the FIS area. We also work very closely with TSA and their innovation teams. LAWA, or LAX, is actually an innovation task force task force site for TSA. So we get to be one of the first airports to trial all of the new innovations that's coming out. So, we're really excited to work with them on, what transforming security screening looks like, and new e-gate technology that will be coming out to basically streamline the process to where either you're using a digital ID or you're just using biometrics, depending on what type of traveler you are. Not seeing queues the way that you see them today. So there's just so many opportunities, but leveraging biometrics for identity verification definitely is the future. And we are looking at how we can implement that in our common use facilities from an airport perspective, but then also working with our airlines in whatever support they need for implementing biometrics in the terminals that they lease, because ultimately everybody has the goal of this curb to gate biometric enabled experience.
Sounds like a really exciting time to be part of Lara, and that you have a lot on your plate. But what are your challenges at the moment, would you say?
I would say the biggest challenge that I have actually is not a technology challenge, but it is the ability to hire and retain technology talent. You are right. We do have a lot on our plate. We have lots of programs coming up. We are building new terminals. We're preparing for the Olympics. Technology is integral in everything that's being built at the airport, but we do need people to build that technology and to operate that technology. So that is definitely probably the biggest challenge. Another challenge, I would say, on the business side is having accurate data and being able to collect that data and to serve that data for consumption by the business. The challenge behind that is there are lots of data sources, but they're not all the same and co-located. So we do need to get to the point to where we are able to build a repository to have accurate data and then to run analytics on that data.
I don't want to talk about challenges without talking about opportunities. So what opportunities do you think exist in your space for the year ahead that you're really looking to capitalize on?
So we're always focused on improving the passenger experience and looking at the various sectors of the different types of passengers that we have at the airport. A technology or service that we have trialed is what we call virtual queuing. We actually call it Fast Lane. But this is a service that is similar to pre-check or clear, but is for the vacationers or the leisure, not as frequent travelers, but also provides this travel segment with the opportunity to help plan their journey, schedule for when they come to the airport, go through security screening, and then how much time they want to spend at the airport before they board their flight. So there's the opportunity this year, I think, to expand that program. Currently, we only have that service in partnership with United in Terminal 7, but we have a great opportunity to expand that airport-wide. Also, leveraging the use of analytics. I didn't talk about a challenge, but now that I think about it, a challenge with analytics is there's lots of analytics opportunities, right? But the challenge is what level of investment do we make and in what areas to leverage AI. So we'll figure that out as time goes on. But, there's opportunities to leverage AI to understand what's happening on our apron, the turn times for our gates, which would improve operations for the aircraft and for airport operations overall. So many opportunities. I would say we talked about the importance of leveraging data now and into the future. So I think this is the time where we have an opportunity to build that data repository that has that accurate data, but also building it in a way that it can be consumed. Analytics can be run against it, so it can be leveraged for decision making across the organization. And then we're very focused on improving the guest experience. So looking at how we enhance our digital channels for our airport workers, so we can make sure we maintain facilities that are great for the passengers, but then also how do we create digital channels where we can start engaging with our passengers directly. So these are all areas of opportunity that I see over the next year.
How do you see airport IT needs changing in the future? I know we've spoken a lot about in this conference about 5, 10, 20 years ahead, but what is your view on this? What is your take?
Well, maybe not maybe 5 years ahead, but not 10, 20 years ahead. But certainly I think within the next 5 years, we will need to be focused on deploying sensors across our airports. That's the only way that we will be able to collect all of this data that we're looking to consume. So, we have many sensor manufacturers here at this conference talking about LiDAR and video analytics with cameras and things like that. But certainly that's a key pillar that will be something that IT will be delivering for the business, I would say. Again, building that data architecture to provide data to the business is going to be key, and then looking at how the business consumes that data and leverages the data. There's so many use cases, and that's where AI is going to come in. For operational use cases, but also for improving how employees work, right? I mean, Microsoft has many AI co-pilot type applications that's just a part of Microsoft 365 that can help us become more efficient in just the everyday administrative task that we work on, right? How do we make our everyday work easier with AI? How do we improve operational efficiencies with AI? And how can we improve the passenger experience with AI? It may be back-end call centers for addressing guest concerns, right, in the future. So I think this is the future of IT. It will go beyond just managing infrastructure. We won't be in the management of infrastructure business as much as we will be into digital services, data management, data visualization, artificial intelligence, all of these things that will change our aviation industry over the next 5 to 10 years.
Airports will function more like tech companies in the end. So final question for you then, Aura. What is keeping you awake at night as an airport CIO?
Definitely cybersecurity. The work that we do with improving the guest experience is the fun part about the job, but cybersecurity and the thought of being hacked, just a few days ago, MGM, had a significant cyber attack. Many large organizations have major cyber attacks, and they say it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So it really is about looking at how to be prepared to minimize disruption to the organization when it happens, and not having the source of the attack be from something that should be very foundationally addressed, from a security controls perspective. We talked about hiring and retaining top talent. Cybersecurity professionals is one of the areas that it is hardest to hire for, and quite frankly, they can pretty much name their price if they're good. One, or two, good folks typically aren't available, right? They have jobs already. So cybersecurity, it's like first and foremost top of mind.
Aura, that was my final question. Thank you so much for the interesting conversation.
Thank you. Thank you.